Hi, welcome back. How you doing today? And if you're new to my channel, welcome. Thank you subscribers too, and thank you visitors alike. This is video number 12 of the Starseed Lineage spread I'm doing using the Galactic Heritage Cards. The question is, what star are we from? And for those that have been with me, um, I pull these using me as the querent seeker, and been recording these. And it's been a very educational journey, for me, and I think for those that are following and keeping track of these. It's a wonderful knowledge that we're getting. And I am, just to recap, I'll do the narrative here in a minute. I have been tracking all the cards that I'm pulling. I've got this, it's like a score sheet, and I keep track of the video number and the date and the published date. And then the repeaters, the repeater cards. And then after a time, they'll let me know, the guides will let me know when to do it. And then I'll tally up the ones that have appeared the most. So, and there's 8 cards. I include the underlying energy around the reading. And of course, those that you're familiar, we pull that from the bottom of the deck. So I'm going to read the narrative. I hope everyone is doing wonderful. I know this isn't usually how I do this. I usually have the camera down. I just did a live with Sherry from Voices from the Swamp is her channel, or Voices in the Swamp. I think it's Voices from the Swamp. And a lot of it was about what I'm doing right here. It's about our galactic heritage, our history, and how we are handling this paradigm shift that we're in, and what paradigm shifts are about. So anyway, I hope you check it out if you haven't already. I had great fun, and we plan to do more on this exact topic. So we'll be collaborating more in the future. Sherry's very busy. She's got lots of people that she does videos with. So maybe every 2-3 weeks, something like that, we'll put a video out. So anyway, thank you for being here. I love you all. This is wonderful. Okay, I'm going to read the narrative now. Galactic Heritage Cards, and let me show you the book. It looks just like the box cover, in case you're interested in getting your own. I believe I found these on Amazon. Okay, Galactic Heritage Cards are used to help us tap into our star lineage and karmic patterns, and also reveal lessons brought to Earth from the stars, and how these lessons can be used in our life on Earth now. A star lineage spread more accurately reflects that stellar influences are working with you now in the moment you choose the cards. If you do readings often, the cards may change, but over time you will notice a pattern that keeps emerging if you are working with the cards in a sincere way. This is a fluid system without fixed positional meanings, because it represents the multidimensional and holographic nature of consciousness. Each card has a number, a civilization, a theme, and text that goes with it. The numbering order is based on the journey from unity to polarity through integration and back to unity. We have 21 different species and 108 cards in this deck. 4 timeline suits: past, present, future, and parallel. The cards are numbered based on the journey from unity to polarity and back to unity, reflecting a universal theme, that of a state of oneness, a fragmentation into individuality, and the process of integration back to the state of oneness. Thus, the cards in the lower numbers represent the earliest process of unity, fragmenting into individuality, and the star consciousness who guides us. Early to mid-range numbers represent the physical civilizations. The higher number cards are the reintegration cards, representing a movement of energy from unity to polarity and then to reintegration. Card numbers later in the deck represent the integrative processes of our star family as it moved towards unity. Parallel cards refer to a certain era of that civilization on the card. Future cards are an era of mature civilizations where our extraterrestrial guidance comes from. These cards work with your intuition. Okay. Now I've got the cards here. I'm going to show them and then read from the text about them. And interestingly enough, okay, I've got 8 cards in total here. Sorry, 8 cards in total, and then we've got five of them that this is the first time they're appearing in the spread that we've been working with. So I thought that was very exciting. So let's begin. The first card I've got, and this is the first appearance for it. Let me find it in the book here first so I can start reading on it. It's card number 37. Okay. And this is single-minded focus, Orion past timeline. There you go. You see that good? Yeah, see that character. Okay. I'm going to read it now. The secret... My lighting is not very good. So, excuse me while I get a little bit more light up here. I'm sorry. Sorry for the glare. Those who were fighting for freedom within the ancient Orion system had to develop intense focus and discipline that could guide them in life and death struggles. Okay. For many, this led to a spiritual mastery that is similar to what we see today in martial arts, masters, and monks. You have had this experience in your ancient past and still possess the skill of intense focus. I can feel that, yeah. But the question is, on what do you habitually put your focus? This card suggests that you should choose to focus your energy wisely. Choose to remove focus from negative self-talk and use your ability instead for spiritual evolution. Yeah, I'm always, because that negative talk, it'll pop in when you least expect it, or, you're having to deal with something and with mindfulness, we have to shift out of it, send that negative thought away. At least for me. You let me know how you deal with it in the comment section below. I'd love to hear. Thank you. Okay, continuing on. This card connects with the Orion spiritual forefathers, the Vegans, whose teaching of Vegan mysticism created a foundation in Orion that could be used for positive or negative purposes. We also see how this intense mental focus was played out within another species seeded from Vega, the Zetas, with their emphasis on logic, reason, and mental ability during their most ancient and dark era. Single-minded focus can be a positive or negative attribute. In these dark times of Orion, it was used as a positive attribute for defense and survival and for enduring challenging times. It was also used as a negative attribute in the form of psychic warfare. If this card appears in your reading, the message depends on your situation and its surrounding cards. It could be pointing to a past life in Orion when you had this ability. It could also be telling you to develop more mental discipline in this life now, or to let go of too much single-minded focus that is keeping you stuck in your life. It requires you to go within and look at yourself clearly. Too much of anything is not a good thing. Use the skill when and where appropriate, but remember that the power lies in walking a middle road. Balance. That's what I think of, balance. I'm always striving to keep the balance. You know, with what I'm dealing with every day, what I'm feeling. You know, I'm thinking some of you got the same thing going on. You know, because we're evolving. We're Earthlings, we're humans, and we're evolving. Okay, our next card pull here is card number 18. And also, first time I pulled this card. Here we go. Okay, I'm going to show it to you. The card is Arrogance, Lyrian, Lyra Present. Arrogance, Lyra Present. There we go. Go for this side. Just in case the lighting is better, I don't know. Arrogance. I know I've had to pull that word a few times whilst communicating. Not on the videos, I don't think. Well, once in a while. I have said a time or two or few before that the arrogance of the United States knows no bounds. And of course, we're in a difficult situation now because of it, but we're going to be just fine. We're going to work through it. We're tapping down our arrogance. We're stepping towards truth. So it's good. Okay, let me read it here. One of the more negative Lyran traits is that of arrogance, the belief that only they know what is best. In ancient days, they pushed their agenda and beliefs on many civilizations. Sounds like the United States around the world, don't it? Resulting in dire consequences. Humans have this tendency as well. Often the intentions are good, but the outcome is not. Examine your own inner motivation for the things that you do. For the things that you do, is there a feeling of superiority? Conversely, is there a feeling of inferiority within you? This is an ancient pattern. Do not concern yourself with others' opinions or actions. Tend your own garden, which leads to true inner peace. Now, some of us have found it necessary to journey through Alcoholics Anonymous, or Narcotics Anonymous, something like that. And I must admit, this was for me too, in the early 80s. And it was a blessing that I had to go through that. And it was there that I would hear over and over again, take your own inventory. Don't be taking everybody else's inventory. Take your own. And this allows for consciousness growth, for our conscious to grow. So anyway, just a little tidbit to share. Now I'll continue. This is the final Lyran card from this time stream. This Lyran trait is shared by humans, and both Lyran and human cultures have to transcend this challenge before they can evolve as species. The Lyrans eventually evolved beyond it, but it was difficult. There were times in the Lyran past when arrogance almost destroyed them. And unless humans move beyond arrogance, we may not only destroy our planet, but our species as well. If this card comes up in your reading, truthfully look at where arrogance may play a part in your life. Is it in your beliefs, your actions, your attempts to control others? If you honestly do not find any, then look at those around you in your life. Is their arrogance affecting you in negative ways? If so, it is a lesson for you to access your strong, confident, Lyran energy in a balanced way and keep your personal boundaries intact. Often we teach people how to treat us through our actions or non-actions. Take a good, honest look at how this theme plays out in your life and take whatever measures are needed to create balance from a place of loving kindness. See, personally for me, I struggle with this mostly, I think, with trying to communicate, guide, teach, and support my children, grandchildren, and great grandchildren. You know, I'm sure bleeds over into other areas. Dealing with some neighbors type thing. But yeah, it definitely is something that I have to keep on top of. I mean, I don't go to any extremes, I don't think, but still, its ugly little face or its ugly little entity crops up. In my life, it does. And I do battle with it. It's all we can do is be aware, flick it away, change your perspective, go at it constructively. And with that, we'll experience growth for ourselves and those around us. Okay, now the next one we've got up here is Black League patterning. Now this is the third time that this one has come up. It's Orion Past. I'm trying to get a spot, no glare. Yeah. Here we go. I'm going to read the text. 38. The secret Orion society of fighting the negative forces was called the Black League. They operated covertly and were a major force for inspiration and hope. A pop culture metaphor would be like the Jedi Knights from Star Wars. You've had an experience with this group, and this latent tendency of resisting authority or fighting for peace is a deep karmic pattern. Today, it is important that this polarity of us versus them be healed. Shift your focus away from light and dark scenarios. Begin to see reality in a unified way and all manifestations being an equal and valuable part of creation itself. Once again, balancing. For me, I think of the balancing act we got to do. Okay, here we go. The Black League is a term referring to the resistance groups that formed during the darkest times in Orion. These groups were usually run by priests who practiced pagan mysticism and who were also warriors as well. These groups ultimately helped change the consciousness within the Orion system so it could transform, but not without a struggle. They also had to learn the folly of living in polarity, which is what you do when you fight darkness. So even through the Black League and the Orion civilization as a whole, eventually transcended polarity and healed itself, many beings who had lives there brought this polarized energy to Earth, and it is still playing out here. On Earth, we can see it playing out through secret societies who believe they fight for freedom from tyranny, religious extremist groups who believe they are liberating people and any group or person who views reality in a polarized way and fights against the side they label as negative. This only perpetuates polarity. If this card comes up in your reading, it usually comes up with other Orion cards or cards with a similar theme. It is most likely suggesting that you look at your view of reality and how you might see it in a polarized way. It is encouraging you to begin to view reality as more of a unified field and that there is a greater balance that perhaps you cannot see. It is asking you to totally transform your life from one of polarity to one of unity. Yeah. Yeah, it resonates. It's a balancing act, a life lesson. Okay, so next up we have card 78, graduation. Now this is the second time this card has come up since I've been pulling, and this is the 12th video. So that's what I'm going by. Okay, I'm going to show you the card. Graduation, this is Earth and future timeline. There you go. Oh, technology and me. Whew. All right. 76. Earth's history has been fraught with struggles, hatred, and fear. The underlying purpose of this was to serve as training for species evolution. It hasn't been easy from the point of view of the future. Humanity has succeeded and experienced a graduation as a species. That is hard to see now, but please trust that everything on earth is happening for a reason. You and many others are connected to humans from the future who are gently guiding the planet toward this graduation. As you connect with your higher self and do your spiritual work, you too help to uplift humanity. This card refers to the future time stream of Earth in which the planet makes its transition from a planet of polarity and conflict to one of unity and integration. This powerful energy of integration acts like a magnet, pulling you forward in your spiritual journey. If this card comes up in your reading, it could mean that energy of beings from Earth's future are working with or through you to facilitate graduation on a planetary level. The card is also most likely acknowledging that you have completed a challenging cycle in your life and are having a graduation of sorts. It is time to celebrate. If you feel the cycle of learning hasn't finished yet and the graduation is coming in the future, let the energy of this card give you the strength to keep going. There may be tests, final exams, so to speak, that will come up, but you are prepared for them. Every civilization that awakens experiences a graduation, and that it is leading towards a shift. Let yourself trust in this enlightened time that is coming in the future for Earth, and know that what you do to awaken yourself is this time now helps to ensure this future for planet Earth. Continue your personal work and encourage those you meet to do so as well. Well, that's what I'm doing. Part of what I'm doing, big part of it, I think. And I sure hope it helps. I hope all this is helping. If you find it helpful, please let me know. Okay, now our next card is number 45. Let me get it in the book first here. And I'll lift up. 45. Okay. This one here, it's the first time it's appeared. The number is 45, long-term goals, serious, past timeline. There we go. Past timeline. Long-term goals, 45. The long-term goals of the Syrians lasted for generations and spanned thousands of Earth years. This required extreme focus, discipline, and dedication. Many people who had Syrian lifetimes still retain this ability to focus and carry out long-term projects. Use this pattern as a skill that can benefit you greatly in this life, especially in regard to your spiritual development. If you have difficulty completing long-term goals, then seek out ways to move beyond the resistance. An ability to be focused and disciplined in spiritual growth is essential. Let your Syrian forefathers guide you. This card refers to the long-term goals of the Syrians who assisted Earth in the ancient days and their ability to see far into the future as to what a new planet Earth would need in its development. Many of their selfless goals to help the evolution of Earth have been carried on for millennia. Galactic species must have this long-range vision in order to perpetuate life, nurture it, and ensure its survival through the challenging periods of its evolution. If you have pulled this card, it is possible that you have a connection to a lifetime during this ancient Syrian era, when they were assisting with the evolution of Earth through genetic projects, spiritual teaching, and protection of the new humans. It could also mean that you have the skill of a long-range vision, being able to see a project through its fruition over a long term. Conversely, if that is not a skill that you are aware of within yourself, this card may be challenging you to begin to develop the skill as a means to discipline yourself, focus, and complete the goals you have for this life. Look at the surrounding cards for further clues. Know that rushing the completion of a project is less important than being focused on the task and carrying it out with integrity, commitment, and thoroughness. Only then can you discharge the energy and the responsibility of the promise you have made to fulfill the goal. See, when I was reading that, I'm thinking meditation, because that's something I have to work on every day. And I'm building on it. I have managed to click in consecutively now for 6-7 days. And normally I'll go and then it seems like I just fall off. Could be a day, could be a few, could be a week. So that's my biggest thing I'm working on. How about you? How you doing with that? I'd be interested to hear. How did this card resonate with you? Do share. I am interested. Thank you. Okay, our next card up is card number 102. Here we go. And this is the first time for this card period in this series. Alchemy. I always have trouble pronouncing this. Assassini parallel. Now the assassines are the hybrids of the Zeta Reticuli. There we go. Zeta Reticuli in humans. Okay, that's the assassini. It's the parallel timeline. Topic is alchemy. The first time reading this one. Okay. Reality is created through our conscious and unconscious thoughts, emotions, and intents. When they are aligned, we become the reality that we prefer as long as we are following our excitement, which represents the natural flow of the universe. The essential Assessian teaching is a process of alchemy, but it means that we must look at our self-sabotaging behavior and confront our shadows, knowing ourselves fully. Only then can we come into full alignment with our true selves. This card means that it is time for you to take the step. Clean up unfinished business, be free, and embrace synchronicity. The Assassinii species is a hybrid of human and Zeta and is considered to be a highly evolved species assisting Earth through its transition. Deep within the Assassinii collective memory lie the healed lessons of the Zeta, Orion, and the human species. Because these lessons were fully integrated, the outcome is a species of pristine consciousness, capable of non-polarized thought and a catalyzing energy that propels others forward into their own processes of integration. Alchemy is the process of using two seemingly opposite forces and bringing them together for profound transformation, nearly magical in nature. This card also connects to the past lessons from Orion that were successfully integrated. If you pulled this card, its meaning can vary. A likely interpretation is that there has been, or will be, or needs to be, a shift in your life circumstances that comes in an unexpected way. Sounds like a tower moment, doesn't it? Okay. Our minds often think change is predictable and happens according to a linear model, A plus B equals C. But everything we experience is the result of an alchemical process, an energetic mix of our thoughts, belief patterns, emotion, resistance, and so on. All of these variables create a powerful energetic soup that propels our trajectory. The Assassinii are experts in harnessing these alchemical processes and shifting the trajectory towards awakening. Now it is essential to do the inner work necessary to understand the forces that affect how your reality is created. See yourself clearly, including your self-defeating habits and patterns, as a way to free yourself from limitations and illusions. Okay, so what popped into my mind there, I'm reading that. I've been trying to get past life reading since January. Something's always coming up. Oh, no, not a past life, but an Akashic Records reading. That's what it is. I meant to say Akashic Records. So, like this month, I had to pay my mechanic. I had to have my windshield wipers fixed. So, anyway, it means I need to get on the ball, and I need to make sure next month I get my my Akashic Records read. I believe that's where we're going there. For me, how about you? Let me know in the comments. Yeah, I'd love to hear. Please share. Thank you. Okay, our next card here, another first time pull. This video 12, this first time this one's coming up. Number 98, Paradox. Zeta Reticuli in the future. Paradox. Paradox, polarity. Sounds similar. Okay. 98. We should be right here. Yep. The Zetas pass through an essential transformation paradigm. Talking about paradigm this morning with Sherry, Voices from the Swamp. On their way to enlightenment, it has to do with an alchemical shift from a state of polarity to the paradox of containing both poles simultaneously in total balance with no preference for either. Once again, the balance. Spirituality, they learn to be both full, containing the universe in all its forms, and empty, containing nothing but conscious awareness. Living this paradox is a point of power and is the key for spiritual transformation. You contain this paradox as well. Learn to tap into it to accelerate your evolution. Let the Zetas guide you. This card refers to the Zeta era in which their species became enlightened. The theme of this card may be the most difficult one in the deck to understand because the mind is used to processing its view of reality through polarity, choosing one or the other. A paradox is a seemingly true statement or group of statements that leads to a contradiction or situation that seems to defy logic or intuition. The mind cannot grasp the two opposing forces can sometimes coexist harmoniously. Okay, let me read that again. The mind cannot grasp that two opposing forces can sometimes coexist harmoniously. Very often, when people discover a paradox on their spiritual journey, they believe that it is because they have somehow failed in their work. The opposite is true. It means we are closer to the truth because the truth cannot exist without a polarized perspective. I never thought of it that way. Absolutely makes sense. As we teach ourselves to go beyond this or that, a whole new reality opens. If this card came up in your reading, it points to a shift in your perspectives that is on the horizon or happening now. This shift can take you closer to unlocking limited beliefs and perspectives that keep you stuck. If you encounter a paradox in your life, resist the temptation to make a choice of this or that. Let the two ideas both be present without choosing one or the other. Let yourself feel what that does within your consciousness. This was one of the key exercises that helped to free the Zeta species and facilitate their enlightenment. And it will be a key in human transcendence as well. Wow. Mind-blowingly, wow. Wow. Let me know in the comments what you think, how you feel about that card. Wow. Okay. Now, our underlying energy card of the reading. This one is the second time this card's come up. Card 27, Alienness, Non-Humanoid Parallel Timeline. Okay. And I got it. Okay. Card 27. Hang on just a second here. Here we go. All right. The energy of this card refers to the sense of alienness that many humans have that keeps them from feeling connected to life on planet Earth. Many feel strange in their own skin, as if they come from somewhere else. You may indeed have a connection to non-human beings in the universe, but because you are human in this life, this card asks you to begin embracing your uniqueness and celebrate it rather than fear it or be ashamed of it. Do you struggle with that? That's something I have to work to get over with, especially here on YouTube. It's like nobody's going to understand. Who's going to get me? And I don't think like everybody else, all that. So here I am working on it. Thank you for being here with me. Now I'm going to continue. Okay. If you need help, ask some loving, non-human beings to assist you during meditation. Feel their alienness and open your heart to them anyway. You and they are one. See, right now I Arcturians and the Pleiades. Pretty much I'm pulling with in my meditation that I am attempting to do better at. I'll continue. This is one of the deck's few archetypal type cards that does not necessarily point to a specific species, but rather a state of consciousness that is affecting you now. And I'm sorry that I massacre some of these words. I don't know why they tongue tie me. I don't know why. Something to do with my learning disability, probably undiagnosed. Yeah. In terms of our galactic family, it may symbolize a connection to any number of non-human races with whom you may have connections. You may already know who you are. If you don't, it isn't so important that you do. There are a myriad of non-human species in creation. The main idea is to examine any feelings of alienness that you may have, of not belonging or being different. Often this feeling keeps us disconnected from life or gives us excuses to not engage in this reality. Excuse me. Again, look at the other cards in the spread to see if there are representing themes. Let's see, they suggest 22, 29, or 3. No, the card 6 suggests is not here. Okay. Is there someone in your life who seems alien or different and you are having trouble embracing him or her? How can you engage yourself more in life on Earth? How can you integrate feelings of being different with being part of a global or galactic community? Ultimately, our journey is about integration, and that means embracing all of our parts, even those that seem alien to us. Yeah. Okay. Now I have to work on that too. Yeah. I'm just a work in progress. How about you? We are a work in progress. Wow. That was a lot of new information. That was great. I loved it. And I'm so glad you're here. Thank you. Thank you for being me. I hope you made it to the end of the video with me. Okay? Thank you. And remember, meditate. At the very least, breathe deeply 3 times a day. At least you'll hold it a second. Push it all out. It really does relax your body when you do that. So a minimum of 3 times, if you run across any stressful moments in your life during the day, try to breathe through it. It'll help immensely. I thank you so much for being here with me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I really enjoy our time together, and I hope you'll stick with me here. I think there's going to be a lot is going to be revealed. I mean, there's 108 cards in this deck, so and I want to learn. I hope, I would think that that's one of the reasons, you're watching too, is you want to find out, you want information. I want to know from whence I come, to help me determine where I'm going. And yeah, we are all eternal beings, but we're here on a mission. Part of my mission, or one of my missions, is to help educate not just myself, but others about all the life forms that we are dealing with and interacting with, and that are guiding us here on planet Earth as Earthlings in human form. So I look for any opportunity I have to say to somebody, especially if it's in some religious connotation has come up or something, I will say out loud to them, we are spirits, eternal souls, spirits, having a human experience here on planet Earth. We are eternal. Our suit may have to pass on and stay with planet Earth, but who we are, there is no end. We are a fractal of the Creator Source. I am in service to the light and love of the one infinite Creator. And that is the challenge to ask anyone or any entity or any spirit that you may encounter that you just need a little more from them, to know how your communication is going to move forward and how to handle that. So anyway, I'm rambling now. I love you all. Thank you for being here with me, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks a lot, guys. Don't forget to thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't. Okay, I'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Love you.